Welcome back to Project 94 for another Diecast review here on the channel. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Bubba Wallace and his 2023 McDonald's Toyota Camry for 2311 Racing. This is a really cool new Bubba Wallace car, and it's really interesting too as well. It's a whole radically redesigned McDonald's paint scheme that's completely different from other McDonald's cars from the past. A lot of just different design techniques, particularly with the color with this car. Of course, this is the new McDonald's brand paint scheme, which there's some pretty interesting things about this paint scheme. A lot of people like it, a lot of people don't like it. It's a polarizing brand new design for the McDonald's paint scheme for Bubba Wallace. Of course, here's the box of it. This car is on a base because the fast food cars are on bases, except Wendy's. Wendy's does not have their stuff on a base, but somehow McDonald's does. I'm still unsure of why they have a base on their cars, but it seems like that has not changed because you can tell box is way heavier. Let's get this diecast out of the box. Let me pause the camera. Alright guys, here's the diecast out of the box. Brand new, here it is, Bubba Wallace and his McDonald's paint scheme. I gotta say, interesting take on the McDonald's brand. This is way different than all the other McDonald's cars. And I gotta say, the choice of making it gray, I don't know. I mean, some people like it, some people don't like it. Personally, I think it's just different from the other McDonald's cars. We usually get either red or yellow or white as a background, but gray? Interesting. And another thing with this diecast, I don't believe this car is accurate as a diecast. You know why? Because if you look at the real life car, it's not a gloss design. It's actually a matte finish. It's not supposed to look like this at all. Like in real life, when you see the light hitting it, it is more of a matte finish on that car. It is definitely not gloss if you look at the actual paint scheme. So I'm not sure why they chose to still make it gloss. This thing really should be a matte finish, and for some reason they just did it like this. Either because they didn't have the budget to do a matte finish or whatever it is. But I'm letting you guys know that is not accurate. So this is one of the couple of cars that are actually not accurate in this diecast all to the real life. So I'm just letting you guys know that ahead of time. So here's the front of this car, and for some reason there are no logos under the headlights. There's no 2311 right here, and there's no 23. So is this a factory error? Do you guys have the 23 under your headlight, or the 2011 or the 2311 logo under the other headlight? Do you have any of those details? Because this diecast in front of me does not have them. Please let me know. If you do, that means this car is defective, which is quite unfortunate for one of my favorite drivers. But you have Toyota Camry in the front right there. Nonetheless, of course, got Sunoco on both front corners. You have the hood right here, and it looks like you have some glue that stayed stuck on the McDonald's logo. I don't know what this is. I'm not going to try to chip that off, so that is weird. Got some interesting errors on this car. And, of course, it got a paint chip right on the hood pin right there. Wow, okay. You got the hood vents right there on top of the McDonald's logo. You have the Toyota, of course, Wallace right there. We have Goodyear in yellow, and it looks to be an interesting double print going on right here. That definitely does not look right. But nonetheless, it's on there. Both on the wheels are yellow, and the fenders are yellow for the Goodyear color. Black rims on it, which makes it look sharp and accurate to the real-life 2311 Toyota Camrys. Of course, we got Toyota NASCAR Cup Series 2311. Then number 2311. God, I'm making... Let me go back and rewind. Whoop. Goodyear, NASCAR Cup Series, the 75th anniversary logo for NASCAR. Number 23 right there, you have Bubba Wallace right there, his name logo. You have Toyota, let's see, Money Lion, DraftKings, Mobile One, Mac Tools, and 2311. Of course, you have McDonald's, got the TRD logo with the TRD arrow as usual. Of course, you have Dr. Pepper, DoorDash, McDonald's. You have Lidos and Columbia on the deck lid. The deck lid. I keep saying the deck lid. That's the second time today. The quarter panel of this Toyota Camry. Of course, you have McDonald's, number 23, TRD, Toyota Camry. I'm loving it on the back. Of course, you have Toyota there, and it looks like there's another weird error. I don't know if this is an error or if this is actually how the scheme actually is, but you got a bit of gray flowing onto the red right there. I really hope that's accurate to the real car and that it's not an error, because that would be madly unfortunate. Nothing at all on the deck lid, which is another interesting decision with this car. And of course, you have McDonald's on the roof with that little top of the slice of cheese, but the McDonald's logo is actually gray. And of course, the 23 on the top. Now it's time for the paint scheme itself. Of course, it's spray painted the wrong gray. It's supposed to be a matte. The shade of gray looks to be right. It's just the fact that it's not matte. So I'm not sure why they did that. The number on it. Red outline and white number fill in with the iconic 2311 font. Of course, as you guys can tell, it's got the 23. None of it on the front. And, well, you have it on the back, under the tail light. Now for the paint scheme itself, got the black spoiler, black roof rails, black splitter in the front of this car. And starting towards the front of this, you're going to have the red kind of flow around the OEM details, the corner of the front right here. Of course, you're going to have the yellow wrap around those little pillars on the front bumper. As you guys can see, that's a pretty usual design technique. For the Toyotas at 2311, they kind of paint like right here, this area, that's in yellow. Same with this side. And of course, the red starts to show up. You got a bit of the gray because the shape doesn't wrap fully. It goes like a little bit, see that little light right there on the Camry? It flows a little bit underneath it, leaves a bit of gray right there, just a bit of breathing room, so it's not so cluttered on the front corners right there. Of course, the red goes all the way down. And then on the hood, the whole thing is red, and the red stripe that covers up the whole hood doesn't perfectly take the shape of the hood, because you actually can see like the actual shape of the hood is actually, it curves, so it actually goes over the front like fender, over the headlights, or the entire, basically the top hood front portion is painted red right there, so the McDonald's logo can flow through it easily. And man, the way they put that Toyota decal, it literally looks damaged. That's how bad the decal quality is there, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Now in the front fenders, or the kind of around the wheel wells, you're going to have the ketchup splatter right there. As you can see, you got the little splotchiness of the ketchup right there. Of course, on the door, the iconic McDonald's golden arches, just like on the hood. And of course, over the rear quarter windows, got some more splotchy ketchup right there. Got some ketchup spilled around the back portion of the car. Goes through the wheel wells and stays in the lower portion, so the top can have all gray. Of course, get the biofuel logo right there. On the back, oh, maybe that's why that little gray like splotch is there, because maybe the back also has ketchup on it. Maybe that's what this all is supposed to be here. And on the top, you got a slice of cheese, of course, on the corners of the back window. This back window, not these. You have the yellow stripe. And of course, it's meant to look like a slice of cheese, but it looks weird because it stops, the stripe stops here, and then it goes like through the middle of the roof. So that's why it's got a funky looking slice of cheese on there. And that's really the paint scheme. Really not much to go over with this one. It's fairly simple. And I gotta say, I do like last year's paint scheme a lot more than this one. You have, like, no pictures of, like, sandwiches or, like, nuggets or fries, nothing on this car. Just a logo. The Wendy's car, they actually went all out with that design and gave us a fully flushed out paint scheme. I know the Tyler Reddick McDonald's gray car was better than this one. This one's just very plain. There's really not much going on with it. I mean, for the Daytona 500, I get it. It's just a primary. It doesn't have to be all, you know, fancy. But I really do wish they added more detail to this car instead of just making it a full-on black. I feel like this really goes against, like, the brand, like, theming of McDonald's. Unless they're starting to incorporate some gray. Then I can imagine, then I could see why they did this. But it's not the best-looking paint scheme. I gotta be honest. Here's the front of the car. I'm just gonna do a 360 view of it. It's not one of my favorite McDonald's paint schemes. It's just very bland and just mech bland. Was that the word NRF used? Mech bland for this car. Not a very popular release. I don't imagine this selling as much as the other Bubba Wallace cars or the other cars in general. Maybe there'll be better McDonald's cars in the future. Here's the base. I still know why it has that. I have to take it to the garage and smash it off. But, alright guys, that's going to be the review of the McDonald's 2311. The number 23. God, every time I see the number 23, I'm tempted to just say 2311. The Bubba Wallace number 23 McDonald's paint scheme for 2023. For 2311. There you go. That's a lot better. So thank you all for checking out this diecast review. Comment, like, and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next diecast review. There are many diecast reviews coming up, so please stay tuned. And always remember to make sure you know what you're doing when you're putting decals on your diecast, folks.